The Cuomo controversy deepens. A seventh accuser has come forward with sexual harassment allegations against New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. And there are new reports that say that Cuomo's vaccine czar called several county officials in New York, gauging their support of the embattled governor amid all of his scandals. I want to bring in New York Congressman Tom Reed. Congressman, good morning.
Good morning, Cheryl. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you, too. 90% of the New York congressional delegation wants him to resign. 80% of the state legislature wants him to resign. Congressman, does he?
I don't think he will, given his past behavior and his ego. His pride will not allow him to resign. So I think impeachment, as I said a few weeks back, is the only path forward for his removal. And when you have a complaint like this from a Democratic county executive about the vaccine czar, who called them and pressured them to show support for the governor during this period of time under the threat potentially as this Democratic county executive level that maybe the vaccine supply wouldn't be coming to them if they didn't show support for the governor. That's very troublesome. That means that you are using your office to influence your agenda during this crisis in a way that potentially further abuses your office. This has to come to an end, and I hope they move forward with the impeachment process as quick as possible.
Congressman, why did it take a sexual harassment scandal to take down Governor Cuomo? I say that because the nursing home scandal emerged last spring, at the end of last spring. That's almost a year later. And to be honest with you, I'm really tired of hearing people say, oh, he was a bully. We knew he was a bully. We knew that they would threaten, his enemies. Nobody likes him. He has no support in the Democratic Party in New York. Why is this just now coming out?
I think you're asking a great question because the nursing home scandal is what caused this to break. And that should, in everyone's mind, and I've never given up on this since March 25th of last year, because we have 15,000 souls that were killed as a result of his death order. And that could be where we should be spending a tremendous amount of time, because look at all of what happened in order to deflect from what is the death order that came from Governor Cuomo. We need to be focusing on that area. We need to be focusing and complete these investigations on the nursing home scandal, because it's not only just here in New York, it's across the country. Pennsylvania, Michigan, got 11 other states in the union that issued the same order based on Governor Cuomo's precedent. That's where people got killed.
Let me ask you this. Letitia James, she's the AG. She's running the investigation, but she can take all the time that she wants. Meantime, you're going to get other people that are going to start to, run for the seat, go for the job. I know that your name has been floated as someone that would be interested in the governor of New York. I know Bill de Blasio refuses to rule out a run for governor of New York. God help us all. I mean, doesn't this kind of open up a political football?
Of course, it is going to open up that political football, as you say. But and who loses when you have this distraction? New Yorkers. That is why we need to be focused. That is why this should be taken care of. Impeachment should continue as aggressively as possible. The governor should resign. I've joined with my other colleagues on a bipartisan basis to have this come to an end sooner rather than later. We still need to get to the bottom of the justice for these 15,000 souls, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And you have to do this for these 15,000 souls, not because of a headline, not because you want an outcome of Governor Cuomo to be out of office, but because justice demands that you hear the voices of those 15,000 people.
Well, I do want to move on to another crisis that we're facing as a nation, and that is what's happening at the border. We got news over the weekend that the Biden administration is mobilizing FEMA to help process all of these kids, these teenagers down there that are in these facilities. They're going to provide food, water, medical care, shelter, all good things. But what's so disconcerting about this is the number of unaccompanied minors has surged to at least 60% from January to February alone.
Yeah, it's a crisis, and obviously the Biden administration sent the message to the coyotes, to the southern nations where this migration occurred from, that the border was open, that there was a new policy, come to America, because there's no longer President Trump in office that's going to secure the border and make you go through the rule of law in order to enter our great country. And what happened is you got this crisis at the border. And now you have Nancy Pelosi trying to blame President Trump. I think the American people are like me, and I'm like them. I am sick and tired of the blame game. Lead. It's time for leadership. It's time for leadership in D.C. President Biden, you're the President of the United States. Nancy Pelosi, you're the Speaker of the House. Don't blame. Fix the problem. And you got people on both sides of the aisle like us in the Problem Solvers Caucus, myself and co-chair, ready to work with you if you are sincerely of good heart and want to solve this problem.
Well, maybe they'll acknowledge at some points that it is a crisis. We are back to square one. We were here 4 years ago. We were here 8 years ago. And now we're back in the same position as a nation with that southern border. They need to figure this out. I agree. Now, Congressman Reed, thank you very much.
It's always good to be with you. Thanks, Cheryl.